As Titan Frost drops all of his totems here. Looks like he pops that Gnomish Harm Prevention belt as well for that extra 500 absorb shield. Particularly strong against warriors who can't generate rage through absorbs as J-Law charges an immediate hamstring into the Mortal Strike, gets a crit as well, so the Deep Wounds is taking off the J-Law, but Titan Frost with those Wind Furies is able to reciprocate as J-Law pops his cooldowns, pops his recklessness, and pops Titan Frost's head off. J-Law charging in immediately with the hamstring once again, gets an improved hamstring proc, so Titan Frost is currently rooted. He gets the grenade on him as well, but look at the damage coming out from Titan Frost. Those Wind Furies coming in the clutch along with that Frost Shock, but J-Law with the big warrior damage. Trickster, by the way, currently sitting in the lead of the Shadow Priest bracket, or was in the lead until Toes played yesterday and racked up a couple more wins. We'll see if Trickster is able to catch up to him here today. Sound seems to be a little bit low. Gonna go ahead and fix that as the duel opens up. Valkor onto Trickster. Trickster popping the second power word shield. Weakened soul full duration right now as Valkor gets the first blind. He's gonna be looking to reset here. Flies the sap. And gets ready to reopen back up. And there it is. The cheap shot. Into the 5-point kidney, not resisted by Trickster the Troll Priest. He might just go down here if he's unlucky. Eviscerate coming out, no. Valkor opting for the gouge instead, and he gets ready to open up, and Trickster gets the Psychic Scream off at the last second, preventing the big damage coming out from Valkor, and with the flash heals, he's back up to nearly full HP, has the Shadow Word Pain ticking. Valkor has to be careful here. He's susceptible to this damage. He gets the cheap shot off from the Vanish. It's not going to matter, though. No, it might. The kidney shot. Full duration kidney as the Shadow Word Pain is ticking Valkor down. But Trickster taking so much damage right now. He gets the silence out onto Valkor. But Valkor able to... No! The second Psychic Scream. No Mithril Insignia pop for Valkor. It's already been used. And now Trickster is on the aggression here. He's low on mana, but he can kite Valkor, who does not have sprint up at the moment. He uses a couple of first stage bandage sticks, and he's trying to reset this duel. He gets the distract off onto Trickster to prevent the kite, but it's going to be a little bit too late as the Shadow Word Pain takes him down into the Mind Flay, and Trickster takes that first duel. The Gnomish Death Ray Proprietor versus Trickster the Shadow Priest. And I'll say both of these competitors were relatively unknown going into this tournament. Both of them have surprised us all with their dominating performances, and both of them were sitting at a pretty healthy spot in the bracket coming in to the regular season. So we'll see how both of them do here as Valkor opens up once again with the cheap shot. Gets the Crusader proc as well, so he's got some big damage rolling into this kidney. Goes for the exposed armor this time instead and uses his blind. So prep has been used, blind has been used. Now Valkor sitting with no more blinds left for the duration of this duel. He's got to get some big damage coming out onto Trickster. He's used his Mithril Insignia, so he's susceptible to fears. No Will of the Forsaken on this Orc Rogue as he opens back up once again, pops the Barrow Peasant Collars. The kidney damage, though, into the Eviscerate. The Cold Blood Avis coming in from Valkor at the last second. Hunter versus Druid has typically favored the Hunters so far. As we'll do a quick inspect onto Bean's gear. He's got the AGM on as well as the Goblin Mortar. Gonna be looking to get some distance onto Reverie if he can. But Reverie playing that NS balance build will want some distance of his own as he gets the grenade. But the Goblin Mortar reciprocated onto Reverie, keeping him exposed. He's got to pop the early Nature Swiftness as Bean. He has the Barrow Peasants just annoying him. Is he gonna be able to get this freezing trap off? He does, just as the Barrow Peasants expire. So Bean is able to time his trap perfectly and get the trap onto Reverie without the Barrow Peasants soaking it. As he opens back up, once again, gets the Viper Sting off, looking to drain that mana. Reverie pops his Innervate, counteracting this Viper Sting and trying to get his dots on. He's got Moonfire and Insect Swarm ticking. He gets the net off as well. So he's dead zoning Bean perfectly right now. Bean unable to do anything as Snickers is trying to do the work for him. But he gets the scatter off just as the net expires. Reverie unable to break out of this freezing trap. But it breaks early. The heartbeat on the freezing trap. Now Bean's in trouble. Moonfire and Insect Swarm taking him down. The concussive shot proc bails him out for just a second, but the grenade, it's resisted by Reverie. He gets the wing clip, but it's a little bit too late as Bean goes down to Reverie the Druid. As we Prepare here, Reverie. Pouncing onto Bean the Hunter. Bean is down one match to this Druid, and his grenade resists again. He gets the scatter trap off, however. No reflector popped by Reverie. He tried to pop it there at the very end, but it just wasn't in time. And now Bean popping his aspect, getting the distance he so desperately craves. The 40-yard marker gets a couple of first aid bandage ticks off as well. Despite having dots ticking on him, he recognizes once again this is a battle of attrition. He needs to recover, goes for the Froblock medicine pouch and pops it right now, counteracting the effects of these dots as best as he can, as Snickers and the Barop peasants are all over Reverie. This is a gang beatdown here, as Bean drops the scatter, drops the trap, no reflect, no resist, and now Bean looking to get some distance, taking advantage of the server ticks to recover, and charging up that big aimed shot. Will it crit for him? It does not, and Reverie pops the NS. It's been 5 minutes, and even with a concussive shot, Bean's in huge trouble here. He's got Moonfire ticket on him. There's the Insect Swarm as well. He goes for the wing clip, a nice Raptor Strike crit, but will it be enough? It will not. Yesterday morning, Ven currently sitting at 6 wins, Zaryu at 22, and Zico at 18. As Yabs goes for the Gnomish Cloaking Device off the dual start. I'm not sure if that was the play. Venruki immediately adapting, hits him with a grenade, and gets the Frost Nova off. And now Yabs is just eating these Arcane Explosions as Ven looks to take down both the Fell Hunter and the SL Warlock if possible. We've seen SL Warlock so dominant in this tournament so far. Will Venruki be the mage to take down the SL Warlocks here? We have not seen this yet. Neither Snuts nor Nazgul have dropped to a mage. But if there's someone that's going to be able to pull it off today, it's Venruki. As he expended his first Ice Block, will he use his second on the Sphere? He will not. Instead, he goes for the Ice Barrier play. Pops the Mana Gem. The Kona Cold is resisted by Yabs. But he goes for the Evocation as he reflects the Fear. Full duration Evo Kit. He's going to be channeled for Venruki here. That's a big recovery and a big swing of momentum in his favor. He goes for the Counterspell as well, charging up the max rate Frost Bolts. He's going to get some serious damage now onto Yabs, who's low on mana, is going to be forced to life tap. And is going to take more damage as a result. Look at Venruki's mana. He is sitting in a great position. He blocks the second Fear. Yabs is totally oob. The Fire Blast, the grenade. Venruki, will he do it? And he does. Taking down the SL Warlock is Venruki for the first time in this regular season. The Arcanite Dragonling, 600 gold trinket. Hoping for some big flame debuff procs as Venruki blinks in at the start of the duel, gets the Frost Nova on both competitors. The grenade is resisted by Yabs, however. That hardiness racial coming in the clutch for him. He pops the Arcanite Dragonling, but Yabs with a grenade of his own as Venruki is looking to unleash this arcane power onto Yabs. Gets the Kona Cold off. It's resisted, however, and you can see that Arcanite Dragonling absolutely breathing into Yabs' face. As Venruki gets the Nova off. Once again, the Kona Cold fires off as well. The Death Coil, though, not reflected by Ven. He's not even going to try to reflect it. No ice blocks this duel either. So Ven now, Yabs going with the Drain mana play instead. I like this. Adapting to the previous duel. Recognize that Venruki can pop a mana gem at any time. Goes for the Drain mana. The reliable play, and takes down Venruki. The Gnomish Harm Prevention Belt as well for that extra 500 damage absorb. But I want to see a 6 Demon Bag play here. I want to see a big play from Zane, who had a bit of a disappointing performance last weekend. But he starts off with a bang here. Though Sonydigital going for the recklessness play off the bat. He wants to secure a victory as quickly as possible as he pops the Spider Belt and gets out of the net. Intercepting back in onto Zane, but not before a Chain Lightning goes off. And Sony's in huge trouble with the Fire Nova ticking down. The Earth Shock to finish him off. So Sony drops the match against Zane to start off the day. And Zane, as we head into this next duel of this round robin series, Sonydigital versus Zane, Warrior versus Elemental Shaman. Only 2 Elemental Shaman in this tournament as the Fire Nova Totem. Sonydigital not respecting the totems, not taking a look at the totem Zane has down. He pre-popped the Fire Nova Totem, forcing Sony to literally charge into his own demise. And there he does it again with the intercept. Sony charging in on the Fire Nova Totem, but at 1% HP is able to recover, but not enough. As Vec is currently sitting at 4th place in the Rogue bracket. Here we go with the sap. Onto I Dared You. I Dared You rocking the Barop Peasant Collar and the Mark of Resolution, as well as the double freezing band on the Priest. He's hoping to freeze Vec in place if possible. We've seen this happen once in the tournament so far. We actually saw a freezing band proc get reflected. I've never seen that before in all my years of Classic WoW dueling. But we saw it happen with Physical the other day. Will we see I Dared You get a lucky proc onto Vec here? Possibly on the opener. As Vec pops the Blood Fury, and he's ready to unleash, but it's a little bit too late as the cheap shot, no, he has to vanish and expend his first vanish does Vec to get the cheap shot off. The grenade is resisted, however, but it might be a little bit too late here. I Dared You with a strong advantage with the Mind Blast, and with this Power Word Shield, Vec is in huge trouble. He's going to play it safe, though. He's not going to use any more cooldowns. Panic vanishing at the start of the duel. And he drops that match, but Vec once again taking his time. It is technically a rule in the CDL rules that if you do not open for more than 25 seconds, then you forfeit your right to an uncontested opener. So technically, if I Dared You breaks this sap on the heartbeat, he can retaliate on Vec, and you saw that in the previous duel just barely. This time Vec not taking any chances. He opens up with the cheap shot into the kidney. And the freezing band proc stops the damage from Vec. This is exactly what I Dared You wanted with that double freezing band build, as Vec immediately forced to pop his Shadow Reflector. It's a tad bit too late, however, as the Shadow Word Pain still ticks on him. He gets the blind off, but look at the Mithril Dragonling and the Battle Chicken harassing him down. He's not able to re-stealth. He has to burn his second vanish into the cheap shot. The big Eviscerate, though, coming out from Vec with the Cold Blood. Is I Dared You going to survive this? He will not. That's going to be exciting to see him perform as Stream Snipe pops open with the Furbolg Medicine Pouch and the Defender of the Timber Maw. He's going for a more defensive build here, and he unleashes the Zoo onto Nippopatos, or should I say Sodapoppin. Let's keep it easy, as he's just moonfiring him down right now with the Insect Swarm as well. Taking almost no damage is Sodapoppin. And there's the Viper Sting, though, now coming out from Stream Snipe, the only Beast Mastery Hunter of the tournament. He gets the Intimidation stun off. That's that big Beast Mastery play. But Sodapoppin able to just tank it back up as he gets the bash off. No resist for him. And the grenade lands as well. So Stream Snipe now, as a BM Hunter, is completely exposed. He gets the Viper Sting off, but it's too late. And Sodapoppin picks up the victory against this Hunter. We've got the Gnomish Death Ray, as well as the Gnomish Battle Chicken equipped now by Stream Snipe. I want to see a big Death Ray play from him here. It's just so tough for a Beast Mastery Hunter to unleash on a Druid as Sodapoppin pops the AGM, goes for the Moonfire and Insect Swarm. The War Stomp is resisted by Stream Snipe, but Stream Snipe in a pretty good position here. He hasn't taken too much damage thus far, but neither has Sodapoppin, who has expended a decent amount of mana. He has no NS in this duel. So if these competitors can hurry it up, that's a big advantage for Stream Snipe, as he's trying to rush Sodapoppin down. But just the sustain of Druids is so much, and the burstiness of Hunters that we saw during the qualifiers has been largely negated. But the Intimidation stun coming off from Stream Snipe, I'm not sure what that Feign Death trap was, but Sodapoppin might run into it regardless. No, he barely glances it off. He's got to be careful of that large Torn hitbox. He might unintentionally run into it, as he pops the grenade on the pet and goes for the Wrath Blaze to finish off Stream Snipe. No, not quite. The first aid. Sodapoppin overextending. He's completely out of mana, and he's exposed now to Stream Snipe with the wing clip. Sodapoppin goes down. A bit overzealous, taking his chances there, getting Stream Snipe down to 1%. And here we go. Sagu blinking in immediately. The Frost Nova is resisted by Improv. The grenade as well cast onto Sagu. Or should I say onto Improv. It hits the Barop Peasants, and he gets him down with the Cone of Cold into the Frostbolt. The improved counterspell as well. So Sagu, big advantage for him here. He's melting this Warlock, whose pet is currently not up. No, there it is. I'm sorry. The Fell Hunter is there. It was positioned at bay. As Sagu charges back in, puts on his Mana Shield as well as his Ice Barrier. Those pesky dispels from that Fell Hunter and the Spell Lock. So he's got away for a couple of seconds. Preemptively pops Will the Forsaken, it appears. Sagu opening up with this big Arcane Explosion damage. But if Improv's able to recover here, it might be a little bit too late. He is not. The counterspell into the Arcane Explosion. And Sagu upsetting the SL Warlock, as did Venruki. Not just, you know, in the qualifiers, not just in the tournament, but in dueling in general. I've seen this guy in Duratar just practice every single day. As we open up here, the Gnomish cloaking device popped by Improv. A cheeky play there to get the Fear cast off onto Sagu. Will the Forsaken not off cooldown just yet for him. And now Improv has this mage right where he wants him, but Sagu, not even hesitating to run back in, opens up onto the Fell Hunter, who spell locks him, forcing him back into range. He gets the grenade, however, so he is able to retaliate momentarily, pops his Bear Pesticollar Trinket, blocks off the dots, and goes into the improved counterspell. Here comes the damage now coming out from Sagu. The Kona Cold is resisted. He goes for the grenade, but the fear coming out from Improv. Will the Forsaken still on cooldown for Sagu? He takes another full duration fear, and now Curse of Agony, Immolate, and Corruption all ticking down on this mage. As he goes once again for the Fell Hunter pet, he gets spell locked once again and blinks back into the fray yet again. Frost Nova is resisted once again. Bad RNG here for Sagu in this second duel, and his mana's running low. He's got to pop his mana gem pretty soon here as he gets the spell lock onto Improv. But no, he goes for the evocation play instead. The fear, he's gonna eat the fear. Well, the Forsaken should be off cooldown, maybe not yet. Popping it late into the first duel with Sagu. And now with the dots ticking, the Fell Hunter harassing him. He tries to blink back in for the play, gets the Fire Blast off, but it's not going to be enough. A couple of Scorches, and that'll be it for Sagu. But I think they're starting to recognize just how strong it is, especially after Zetox chained it so well with the slam play yesterday. As we have the opener here, Vec opens up onto this Tauren Warrior. So tanky with that extra 5% damage and that Blood Crazed Talent. And there's the blind now onto J-Law. Vec doing a decent amount of work there, but will it be enough? As he opens up with the Garrote and the reliable damage, but there's that Horned Viking Helm. And now J-Law with a chance to recover. He does have a dot ticking on him, so great awareness there by Vec, recognizing the reset was coming and preventing J-Law from bandaging back up as J-Law drops the grenade, but it's resisted. But look at that damage coming out from that recklessness. Vec forced to vanish immediately, and he might finish J-Law here, who's exposed with that recklessness debuff. Is he gonna be able to finish him off? This is so close, and he does just in the nick of time. Haven't seen a big death ray play yet today. We'll see if we get one in this second duel. And here we go with the opener. Cheap shot onto J-Law into an immediate gouge, but it breaks. The Shrink Ray backfires, though, onto J-Law, who's going to be doing gimp damage here as Vec takes advantage of that, pops his AGM. He knows it's going to be up for a while as J-Law hops to sword and board with minus 250 attack power and firing off into an AGM. So he was unable to get the damage he desperately needed off. Meanwhile, Vec gets the blind off. No deep wounds. It falls off just in the nick of time for him as he recovers with a first aid bandage. And he's going to get ready for a big opener now onto J-Law. No sap needed. He goes directly for the cheap shot into the rupture play. J-Law going to be using that loofah any second now. No, not yet. Intimidating shout pop, though, onto Vec. He gets the intercept off onto this rogue, who vanishes right back up. Does he go for the cheap shot? No, he's broken out with the piercing howl. Big piercing howl from J-Law to break Vec out of stealth instantaneously, but J-Law sitting at 9% HP. The War Stomp goes up, but it's the 5-point kidney, and it's the big eviscerate coming up from Vec that takes down the Warrior 2-0. As both these competitors posture up, get into position, the duel begins. Shadow Word Pain onto Zane, who charges up the Chain Lightning. Is he going to get ranged? It does. He's got to get a little bit closer here. Going for the Purge on that Power Word Shield. Goes for the healing play instead. He has to be careful here of the Fear. He is in melee range. Is he going to be able to get the distance he needs to get a free cast? No, he pops the Tremor Totem into the Lightning Bolt. So it looks like the Tremor will get this Fear down. No, it does not tick in time. He's slightly out of range, so Zane is forced to eat this full duration Psychic Scream. But he's done his damage onto Trickster with the Zoo, and is able to purge off those shields when he needed it into the shock. So we have a Mind Blast coming out. No, the Shadow Reflector is popped by Zane, preventing the Mind Blast by Trickster. These guys are playing a very, very dangerous dance here as he pops the Troll Ratio. No, he gets silenced, so no Chain Lightning for Zane just yet. And now he's taking the damage from Trickster. Responsible for grenade, pauses him for long enough. The Earthshock damage coming out, and there's the grenade preventing the Chain Lightning once again into the Mind Blast. Zane is going to get a cast off. He goes for the heal instead. Psychic Stream coming into play. It lands. And no Tremor Totem drop. That was a Grounding Totem instead. So Zane taking this full duration fear, and Trickster the opportunity to heal back up now. Both these competitors are playing this duel so well. Trading CC for CC, nade for nade, and preventing casts across the board. But it looks like it's Zane here with a slight advantage as he goes for the reset. And it looks like Trickster might do the same. Purging off the Power Word Shield is Zane going for the Lightning Bolt. He's outranged once again. Trickster playing the distance game so effectively against this Shaman. He knows all he needs to do is apply dots and get out of range, but he goes for the Mind Blast aggression play this time and lands the grenade as well. Clearing out the Grounding Totem, the Tremor Totem, I should say, gets the Duration Fear, but it breaks early. Barrow Peasants, though, popped onto Zane. Trickster's going all in on this play. He doesn't want another reset. He knows he's almost out of mana, but Zane able to get both Lesser Healing Waves off. The Mind Blast, it's not enough. Zane has recovered a little bit too much. Is he going to go for the Chain Lightning play? No, he goes for the Earth Shock instead. And he takes down Trickster against Shaman or Druids. I've seen it in previous dueling tournaments, but not this one. As the Purge comes off onto Trickster, into the Earth Shock as well, into the Grenade, the Chain Lightning, the first one of the series. It does get cast successfully, and the Grenade is resisted by Trickster, so Zane, free to cast with impunity. He gets the Chain Lightning and the Lightning Bolt, and Trickster is in huge trouble. He tries to recover here, out in range, no dot sticking, no Flame Shock, as Zane is closing in on him. He has his target in his sights, but he's silenced up as he's trying to recover. Now it's Trickster's time to deal damage. Goes for the Mind Blast into the Mind Flay. Blackout procs coming in the clutch for Trickster. Not quite yet. As Zane recovers yet again, drops the Grounding Totem to protect himself. The Tremor Totem as well, but the Tremor Totem has been taken down by Trickster. So that's a full duration fear onto Zane. No totem to bail him out. There's the Mind Blast as well, but this is a mana game, and Trickster is all but out of mana. Meanwhile, Zane able to recover once again. There's the Mind Flay, interrupted by the Earth Shock. Zane coming back into melee range. He's got to be careful of that second fear. It's about to come off of cooldown. He hasn't dropped the Tremor Totem. He can be exposed. He's exposed to this fear right now, but the mana has been almost completely depleted from Trickster. He does have Shadow Word Pain ticking, however. He goes for the Psychic Scream. It looks like he barely outranges it to Zane, but it's not going to matter. And here we go. Reverie stealthed up, ready to open up on Venruki. He gets the pounce off, but Ven immediately blinks it away. A big duel for Ven here. He needs this victory. We've seen mages 0-2 druids all weekend, and look at the big Frostbolt crit coming out for Venruki right when he needed it. Reverie free casting the Wrath. No, he gets improved counterspelled right away, and Ven opening up once again with another big Frostbolt. Gets the Frostbite proc, forcing the shift. And Ven, does he get this out, or is it going to be ranged? It's not ranged by Reverie, who runs back in at the last second of that Frostbolt cast, so he eats the damage. Venruki just free casting here, blocking off the dots and blocking off that Wrath play. As he goes for the first aid and recovering back up, Reverie reciprocates, but this is a big win for Venruki, who's sitting very healthy now against this Druid. This is a matchup that many people say is in the Druid's favor, although the performances we've seen thus far might suggest otherwise, as mages have been doing so well against Druids. It's a very tight matchup, despite conventional wisdom, and Venruki unloading these big Frostbolts now onto Reverie. He has the mana advantage, he has the health advantage, but he has dots ticking on him. Reverie has to be careful. The grenade is whiffed by Reverie. That's a big whiff. Venruki popping his AGM, gets another Frostbite, forcing the shift once again. Goes for the big Frostbolt once again. Does he get the crit? He does not, but Reverie's at 43% HP. The grenade, it lands. Ven going for the evocation. This is a big mana recovery for Venruki, who has a huge advantage in this duel. Reverie popping the medicine pouch, trying to recover as well, but it's Ven expending his second ice block and charging up the big damage. Yet again, is it going to be ranged? It is not. Kona Cold, not resisted by Reverie, but no crit either. So Venruki might just be running out of gas here as he gets the Fire Blast off of that Frostbolt as well. But the Imp counter spell, he charges up another big Frostbolt. It lands, no crit, but it's a lot of damage. And here's the second Frostbolt. Frost Nova, no, he goes for the Fire Blast instead into the Kona Cold. And Venruki, but he has some form of recovery here in this second duel. of this round robin series. The pounce blinked off once again by Venruki. He's going aggro once again as well. No ice blocks, but he doesn't care. He wants to burn down this druid as quickly as possible. The imp counter spell, and now with the big frostbolt damage, and he gets a big crit to start things off. Does he get a second one? He does not. His frostbolt is resisted by Reverie. And Reverie playing very dangerously close to the edge of that duel line. He's got to be careful not to get frostbitten out of bounds. As he charges up a couple of casts of his own, responding with that Wrath. The grenade lands, however, for Venruki into the Konakol. That AGM is just completely swallowed by that big cock as Reverie goes for the War Stomp. It's not resisted by Venruki. Instead, he gets the Frost Nova off and another Konakol. That one's resisted, though, by Reverie, who pops the NS. And here we go. Another Frostbolt now onto Reverie. Frostbite procs. He gets the grenade, though, does Reverie, but he's imp counterspelled immediately, so he's not able to follow it up with any big damage. Venruki is playing this beautifully, covering himself at every turn, but no evocate for this duel. Reverie, though, completely and it's Venruki who looks like he might be coming out on top here. Pops the Whipperoo at the last second. Into the Fire Blast. Reverie is in huge trouble. The Konakol and the pets ticking him down. And that's a 2-0 for Venruki. But in this duel, he's got his bases covered. He's got his nifty stopwatch to bail him out and get the distance he needs to close in on the Hunter, as well as the medicine pouch. So we'll see if he's able to make good use of those items as he pops his nifty stopwatch off the start of the duel. And there it is. There's the closing distance, that extra 40% speed. The Goblin Mortar's resisted, but he gets the Death Coil, not reflected by Stream Snipe. And here we go. The SL Warlock and his pesky dots. As you can see, the damage now coming out onto Stream Snipe in the form of the Corruption and the Curse of Agony. The big takes end, but it's Improv who's very low on mana. The Viper Sting coming in the clutch for Stream Snipe. Improv is completely He's forced to sack, but he gets trapped as a result. Without the pet there to eat the trap, it's Improv who gets trapped up. And now Stream Snipe, an opportunity to recover here, both health and mana. Pops the first aid as well. He's just going to open up in melee range onto Improv, into the freezing trap as well. Any entrapment procs? No, there is not. Instead, he's going full damage. Improv forced to expend his Feldom there. But he is so He's got to life tap. If he wants to do any damage to this Hunter, he needs to life tap. He does have dots rolling, and he's forced to sack yet again and uses a Dark Rune there. Almost killing himself. Will of the Forsakens, but it's not going to be enough. Stream Snipe taking down Improv, the SL Warlock. Open up, does Improv with the Corruption into the Curse of Agony. No nifty stopwatch to close the distance this time. He's got to be careful not to get kited. Concussive shot onto him. He's not going to be able to bail out here. No rocket boots equipped currently. Could be a little bit of a misplay, but he does get the Death Coil, not reflected once again. He's going to go for the Fear on the pet. No, he's not. Instead, both these competitors playing very close to the edge of the duel. And the Intimidation Stun comes out from Stream Snipe, who looks to close the gap, gets the grenade off. Does he go for the Wing Clip? No, he goes for the Freezing Trap instead, but it's the Voidwalker who absorbs it. So misplay there by Stream Snipe. And again, no early sack by Improv, so his Voidwalker is able to absorb the stun for him. But once again, the Viper Stings have left Improv completely And now Improv going for the Fear. It's Stream Snipe who's on the back end. But the pesky little pet here, the Beast Mastery pet, these Beast Mastery pets do so much damage, you don't expect it, and then you just watch your life tick away. Speaking of which, Improv might get 2-0'd here by the Beast Mastery Hunter. Are we going to see an SLR get 2-0'd? It's so close between these competitors, but Improv completely goes down 0-2 to Stream Snipe to remain in this tournament. About 5 duels shy from Bobka as he opens up onto Sonydigital with the cheap shot into the kidney shot. Sony, though, so geared despite the Blood Fury damage. He's tanking this like a champ, and he pops his newly acquired AGM. The Piercing Howl. The grenade is resisted by Valkor, but the War Stomp is not. And Sony with the recklessness. Is he gonna get bursted down here, though, in the duration of this cheap shot? It looks like he might. The blind, though, completely taking over his recklessness. It's going to be negated, and Valkor, with no dots on him, is able to recover. Sony's in big trouble here, guys. He's in huge trouble, but he gets the intercept off, and the Earthshaker stun. It is resisted, though, by Valkor, so the intercept does go off, but no Earthshaker stun to back it up. Valkor pops his Whipperoo Tuber into the 5-point kidney. Sonydigital could go down here if he's not careful. Blood Rage for extra rage. Just go for the intimidating shout. There it is. And now Sony trying to get the intercept off. Is he in range? No, he goes for the secure bandage instead. A couple of takes into the intercept. Does he have the rage to do the Mortal Strike? He does not. Not quite yet. There it is. And now Valkor with the improved hamstring left in place. His Eviscerate barely does damage onto Sony. He's got to finish him off here, and he does. So a big cold-blooded Viz to finish off Sonydigital at the last second. He doesn't have AP Night Slayer set. He doesn't have a Viscag. You know, he's very undergeared compared to some of the other rogues, but has been doing so well regardless as he opens up once again on Sonydigital, who again, just so tanky. He's got the Iron Foe, he's got the Drill Board Disc, but does he have the damage and does he have the composure to take down this Hemo Rogue? Iron Grenade not resisted this time. He swaps over to the Earthshaker and he's got the big Rage Potion to back him up. The second blind, though, used onto Sony, and this time with Deep Wounds ticking, Valkor is not going to be able to bandage back up just yet. He'll try to stealth sap this off, though. No, he goes directly into the cheap shot, so he's going to try to finish Sony off here, who's currently in Berserker stance, so he could rage out of any sap, so that's good awareness there by Valkor, who goes for the Rupture play. But there's the Mace stun from Sony coming in the clutch, bailing him out yet again. He's going to have the follow-up damage, though he just might. Execute doesn't land, and it does. Both competitors at 1%, but it's Sony D who comes out barely on top. On Yabs, the SL Warlock last weekend, one of the most exciting duels I have ever seen. But he starts off his duel today with a net backfire. That's got to hurt. As he goes for the distance closer onto I Dared You, who nets himself as well. So that's a double net that Titan Frost is forced to sit through. As an enhancement shaman who's got to close the gap, he cannot be happy about that one. And the nade does not resist for him either. The mana burn to completely him. And without any kind of rocket boots or gap closer here, this could be GG for Titan Frost, or maybe I spoke too soon as he pops the Whipperoo Tuber and gets a nice Wind Fury crit, but with no Tremor Totem down, this spells certain doom for Titan Frost. I Dared You, but it's not going to matter. Shadow Word Pain and the Wand to take down Titan. I am jealous, but I would love to see him pop some kind of gap closing boots. Either go for the nifty stopwatch or the boots play. He doesn't do that. Instead, opting for the Mithril Insignia to keep him in range, but there's the nifty stopwatch used by I Dared You. The Frost Shock comes out, though, so Titan Frost still in range, but it's the grenade that gives I Dared You the distance he needs, and now with no gap closer, Titan Frost is in big trouble, and I Dared You has a ton of room to work with here, as they just now eclipse the dueling flag line. So it's I Dared You with the advantage. Titan Frost, again, not able to close this gap. The Enhancement Shaman looking for that big Wind Fury crit. Will he get it here as he approaches I Dared You for the first time in what feels like forever? The Frost Shock into the Fear, but the Tremor Totem does break it. And Titan Frost now with a little bit of uptime to get some auto attacks here. Does he get a Storm Strike off? Not quite yet. The Absorb coming out from that Power Word Shield is just a little bit too much. I Dared You a little bit too tanky. That Inner Fire and that Shadow form. So Titan Frost, the Urge Shock isn't going to be enough, and he gets it! The Wind Fury at the last second, the literal last second, to take down the Shadow Priest. If Sodapoppin is going to be able to take this off of Sagu, he is currently standing at first place of all the Druids, so he's in a very comfortable position. And his War Stomp is resisted, so that's not going to be good news for him. Asagu looks to emulate Venruki's strategy and just pump into Sodapoppin, who has to expend an early NS. The Barab peasants just harassing him down. They finally disappear as he gets his Moonfire and Insect Swarm off, but this is a battle of mana. Sodapoppin, the only druid in the tournament to spec into the Wrath for the reduced casting time. So he gets a couple of Wraths off there. Sagu blocking off that Wrath as well as the dots as he looks to close the gap. Goes for the evocation. Sodapoppin taking the time to recover instead of going on the aggro. There is Sagu now sitting at a very, very healthy mana pool. Gets the counter spell off as well, so Sodapoppin unable to cast for a couple of seconds there. He reflects the big Frostbolt, though, and that's a big momentum shift in favor of Sodapoppin. Sagu now in a bit of trouble. He's expended one Ice Block, and there's the big Wrath, reduced cast time into the Moonfire. Sagu could go down to dots here, and he does. Sodapoppin. But he's come to compete today as he pounces onto Sagu, gets the Moonfire as well into the Insect Swarm. Frostbolt comes out, Frostbite proc as well, but the grenade not resisted this time by Sagu gives Sodapoppin a window of opportunity to apply some damage. As we see Sagu blink in, Frost Nova resisted by the Tauren Druid. Insect Swarm refreshed and reapplied, improved counterspell though, preventing Sodapoppin from doing anything. He's got to travel form and run away, taking advantage of the dual distance. Once again, reapplying the first aid bandage, but look at Sagu this time. He's not taking any chances. He's kiting Sodapoppin all the way to the edge of the duel line, and that's nearly a full reset for Sagu, who now has the mana to pump once again. Try to get in range of him and check out his trinkets if we can. Look at this. He's not falling for the bait. He's not falling for the trap. Instead, opting to recover during every exchange. He has his Briarwood Reed and his Eyes of the Beast, so pure damage now coming out from Sagu as he blinks forward. He feels like he's in a healthy spot. He's got to be careful, though. If he lets this duel go too long, the NS will be off cooldown. Looks to unload a big Frostbolt on the tail of that counterspell, and not sure if the reset's the play there, as he misses a big opportunity after getting a really big Frostbolt crit. Not sure if dragging the duel on is going to be in his favor. He goes for the Cone of Cold. This time he's going the full aggro build into the Arcane Explosion, into the nade, into the max rank Frostbolt. No crit for Sagu, but he has a lot of uptime here as Sodapoppin is in melee range. War Stomps. He blinks out of the War Stomp. Improved counterspell. Max rank Frostbolt, but then travel form, forcing Sagu to either run ahead or reset. He's going to go for the reset play, but Chance, like a shark, pursuing his prey, understanding that Sagu is almost out of gas with very little mana remaining. And again, there's those pesky 1.5 second Wraths. Sodapoppin charging up that Wrath. Could this be the last Wrath of the duel? No, the improved counterspell into the first aid ticks, but it's the grenade and the Moonfire and the Insect Swarm now ticking down Sagu. There's one Wrath. There's two Wraths. There's three Wraths. No, Sagu's able to range it with the blink away. In dangerous territory now, but it's Sodapoppin who's almost doomed. Sagu has managed to stay alive for a decent amount of time and gets the polymorph off onto the Druid. Not sure if that was worth it. It was immediately shifted, but might have bought him half a second. 2-0 Yabs earlier. So the pressure certainly is on Bean to get a 2-0 of his own if he wants to keep his lead over Stream Snipe. We'll see if Yabs allows him to do so. He fears the pet, so now Yabs looking to close the cap onto Bean, who's at the rim of the duel line. He's got to be careful. Gets hit by the Death Coil into the nade. He pops his Shadow Reflector trinket, but it's the Immolate that gets cast by Yabs, who's completely out of mana. Do the Viper's thing, and he eats the trap too, but look at the Barrow Peasants and the dodge harassing Bean down. Bean forced to pop an AGM. He's going to try to get whatever distance he can and potentially bandage back up if he can. And there's the first aid. He gets a significant amount of ticks off, so it's a nice reset there for Bean, but is it going to be enough? He has no dots ticking, but he has that 40-yard range that he so desperately needs. And Yabs completely might be forced to life tap here. Grenade cooldown is still up, so he's not going to be able to close the gap reliably. And the freezing trap goes off. So Bean taking damage from these dots, the corruption, the curse of agony, but he's going to be able to reset this duel if he likes. The sack goes off. And now Bean all the way to the other side of the duel line, resetting here, eating and drinking back up. Yabs not expending his Feldom. I like this play. I believe that was a normal cast Voidwalker. I don't think Feldom was expended there. So he still has Feldom. But it came at the cost of letting Bean regenerate his entire mana pool. As we see the freezing trap, or the frost trap, I should say, get unleashed. Voidwalker is slowed down as a result. And Bean going for the multi-shot play, going for the scatter, going for the reset. Bean is just playing this duel so dangerously, treading on thin ice. Is he gonna survive here? He does at 1%, but he won't be able to drop combat in time. And he drops the match to improv the SL Warlock. And here we go. Opener now coming out from Bean, going for the distance. He launches the Goblin Mortar. It lands onto Yabs, but it appears to be resisted as Yabs still able to get out of corruption onto Bean. But he's taken a lot of damage here, much more than the previous duel. Bean just unloading on this SL Warlock. And the Death Coil, it is eaten by Bean, so not an opportunity to reflect it there. But he gets the wing clip off, he gets the improved wing clip off, he gets the grenade off, and he drops the trap. Now Bean is in a great position. He's close to ooming, but he's also got Yabs on the rope here at 29% HP with Death Coil on cooldown. That Voidwalker is harassing Bean down. It looks like he's going to go for it, trying to take it out. But it will likely be sacked by Yabs at the last opportunity. And there it is. Sack goes off. Shield is on. And Bean, with no dots ticking on him, is able to recover. And it's Yabs who's on the ropes here. He mounts back up, recognizing that he can't let Bean recover his mana pool here. Drops the Curse of Agony, drops the Corruption. The wing clip comes off, but the Shadow Burn is used as well. Bean popping the Whipperoot Tuber. He gets bandaged. There's the freezing trapped drop by Bean, but it's too little too late. Bean goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, Bean goes 0-2 to the SL log. All he needs is that resolution and shrink rate to mitigate that recklessness. But J-Law just goes for everything at the start of the duel. He's ready to pump out that big damage. There's the shrink ray, though. That tiny little cow turned into a calf. I think calf is baby cow, right? I don't know. It's one of those. Anyways, the Mind Flay now onto J-Law. Trickster forced to pop out of form into Flash Heal spam, into the Mortal Strike debuff. So he just burned 75% of his mana trying to heal himself back up. Not sure that was the play there, as he's almost completely oomed. J-Law, though, he's got to be careful. It's a full duration fear. It breaks early, goes for the Blood Rage for the extra rage. He's got the rage, he's got the Mortal Strike. Will he get the crit he needs? Interrupt the Mind Flay. He does not. Is it execute rage? Does he get it? No. As the duel is set to begin, and there it is. The stun onto Trickster. J-Law, does he pop his rage potion and queue up the slam? Not sure what he's doing here. Oh my god, is this potion still on cooldown? He didn't swap to his Death Ray in time. And that's a very late Death Ray from J-Law, who does end up popping his rage potion, but it could be a little bit too late for him. Not sure if Death Ray came off of the Trinket Swap cooldown in time, so he had to delay his opener there and took a bunch of unnecessary damage as a result. I like the positioning of the totems here. Titanfrost recognizing that, you know, he'd rather have Valkor come out to the side to take down his totems if needed. He has a Poison Cleansing totem down to remove the blind, and you see Valkor there with a nice snipe on that Poison Cleansing, not running towards the totems, not falling for the bait. Titanfrost now swapping to the Hand of Ragnaros, but it's Valkor who vanishes up, opens up with a cheap shot. It was on DR. See if that's going to matter as the Frost Shock goes out. Evasion is popped. No Poison Cleansing totem down either, so Titanfrost is going to eat this full blind. Valkor takes out the Searing Totem, looks to drop combat here if possible. Goes for the bandage, breaks it early. As the Flame Shock comes out, and the big Wind Fury Storm Strike from Titanfrost, completely obliterating Valkor there. The Fury of the Elements taking down this rogue. And we'll see if that pays off for him in the second duel. Here we go with the opener now. On to Time Frost. Valkor's popped his Blood Fury, but the Frost Shock comes out. The grenade lands as well, and Time Frost gets the recovery healing wave. Flame Shock to prevent the re-stealth. The 5-point kidney, however, onto Time Frost, and he is exposed here. A big Abyss could spell his doom. No. The blind comes out, but no poison cleansing totem to take it off. He's got to be careful. First aid bandage coming out from Valkor. He's recovering a lot here. He breaks it early once again. Gets the sap off, though. He's got to be aware of the sap heartbeat. As Valkor opens up once again with the cheap shot into the gouge, into the Gnomish Death Rays. It's got to be a big crit. He's got to be careful. It is a big one, though. And he takes down Time Frost, who got the hand of Ragproc. So we'll see if Sodapoppin is able to do the impossible here. Druid against SL Lock with the pounce coming out of the Moonfire as well. And he reflects the Shadow Burn off the start. So a nice reflect there for Sodapoppin. Some damage going his way. Druid's pretty low in the burst department. But there's the Death Coil. He reflected the Shadow Burn, so the Death Coil is cast with impunity, as is the follow-up Fear. And you can see the Nightfall proc breaking the Fear early. Sodapoppin taking his time, recovering back up. As does Yabs, who has no dots ticking, but it's interrupted with the Moonfire. Curse of Vanity and Corruption now cast onto Chances. He fires off those quick 1.5 speed Wraths. You can see the Shadow Burn damage, this time not reflect just how much damage it chunks Chance down. As Yabs goes for the Fear once again, he stops casting those Barrow Peasants so pesky onto Sodapoppin. Meanwhile, Yabs keeping his distance here. As Sodapoppin recovers, but he's losing that mana that he so desperately needs. Almost down to 33% mana. He pops the Moonfire as well as the Insect Swarm. Moonfire is dispelled by the Fell Hunter, who is all over Sodapoppin, and you can see that mana just slowly get whittled down. As Sodapoppin pops the Innervate, pops Travel Form, and looks to close back onto Yabs. Bandage cooldown is still up, so he couldn't recover there. But the grenade lands, though, into the follow-up Wrath, so Soda able to get some chip damage there, and the Innervate has him at a pretty healthy recovery. As he interrupts the bandage cast by Yabs. Now Yabs is in big trouble, forced to pop the Whipperoo Tuber. This distance game not going in the favor of Yabs here. As he tries to go for the reset, but it's Sodapoppin in hot pursuit of him. Playing the distance game so effectively. And he might get this win off this
Charge
SL
complete.
Warlock. As the spell lock comes in onto Sodapoppin, but it looks like it might be a little bit too late for Yabs as Soda takes down the SL Warlock. The charge has been complete. Hammer Prio. Here we go. Opener now onto Yabs from Soda with the pounce. Goes for the Netomatic Projector, so understanding his success in the previous duel. He looks to keep the distance game up, but he's hit with a big Death Coil this time, and it did crit, so a lot of damage coming out from Yabs onto Sodapoppin. This time Yabs, he doesn't want to play Sodapoppin's game. He doesn't want to play the distance game, or does he? As he goes to keep distance once again. Maybe he feels like he can outdamage Soda this duel. We'll have to see if he's able to as the dots fall off. We're looking for the bandage play here after the double life tap. Yabs, very, very smart, very aware there to get 2 life taps off before the first aid bandage comes off. Understanding that this is a battle of mana and not so much HP as the grenade is launched. And it's Sodapoppin now on the back foot, forced to cast a full max rank healing touch, expending some mana there. And the Entangling Roots is resisted by the Fell Hunter, so he's going to have it on his back here as the Gnomish Cloaking Device comes out from Yabs with no dots ticking. That's a great play there by Yabs, allowing the Moonfire and the Insect Swarm to fall off. And he's just chilling in the back there. Not really doing anything here. As Sodapoppin looks to close in that Travel Form. No food or water there coming out from Yabs. Not sure what he had in mind as he tries to keep the distance up. But the pet kept him in combat. As Sodapoppin pops the NS there. Gets a Cyclone off onto Yabs. I'm guessing that's the 6 demon bag channeling the Druid Cyclone. And it very much is. Thought we were in TVC there for a second. As Sodapoppin launches the Wraths yet again. But this time, though, he is completely no Innervate to bail him out. And it's Yabs with a strong advantage. He goes for the Drain mana play to add insult to injury on this Druid, who is now completely Sodapoppin popping the Dark Rune to get some mana at the very end, but it was too low. He had dodge sticking, and he does go down. Here we go. Scatter shot now. Comes out from Bean. As Sagu blinks in. Viper Sting, though, whittling down his mana, and the grenade lands as well. So it's Sagu retaliating with a Fire Blast. Bean is at the very edge of the duel line and the very edge of the zone here, as Sagu has him in a perfect position. Bean's got to be careful so he doesn't flee the duel. The Frostbite coming out as well. Is Bean going to flee this duel? He's just barely outside of duel range, but it looks like he recovers. Sagu, though, he blocks off the damage, blocks off the dots, gets scattered. There's the Frost Trap, though. Is he going to take the bait? He will not. He's playing the distance game so well. And Bean he's got to be careful here. He can't get out of duel range. He's in such a bad position right now, cornered against the wall. But his Snickers pet takes down Sagu. As we head into our next duel of this best of 2, Bean versus Sagu. Bean picking up his first victory of the day just a second ago. As Sagu gets the Cone of Cold off onto Bean, and the big damage onto Bean. No Viper Sting to him just yet, and he's dead zoning this Hunter perfectly. You can see the two dancing back and forth together as Bean pops the medicine pouch, but it's Sagu who takes it. And Bean drops yet another duel, 1-5 on the day. With Stream Snipe yet to go head-to-head against a mage today. He'll be facing Venruki in the next set. But Bean in quite a bit of trouble. He's still in second place, but only 3 shy of Stream Snipe, the Beast Mastery Hunter. He's not in the clear just yet. He has not clinched anything just yet. As we move over to Sonydigital. That's going to be annoying. Here we go. Sony versus I Dared You. Warrior versus Priest. Please stop. Please stop. I can turn G-Invite off, I think, in the interface options. Let me see if I can do that real quick. You guys don't mind holding on the duel just 1 second. Pretty sure you can. It's under social, block trades, block guild invites. Okay, we're good to go. Usually I have Leatrix Plus on for that. But here we go. Sony charges in onto I Dare You, who immediately pops his Shrink Ray. Goes for the grenade as well. But Sony's in range, do some pretty big damage here if he gets his Recklessness off. He has his AGM popped as well. He's going for the Sunder Armors. That's a 3-stacked Sunder onto I Dare You from Sony. As he pops the Recklessness finally, and he gets the Earthshaker stun. So he's got an opportunity here to do some big damage. Gets the Intercept off as well. Sony, does he close this down with the Recklessness? Goes for the grenade, it lands, and the Execute. That's a big win there for Sonydigital, who takes down the Shadow Priest. It's one of the Priest racials for trolls, along with Hex of Weakness. As we get started with Sonydigital charging and popping the Barot Peasant Collar instantaneously. Mind Blast coming out from I Dared You. Intimidating Shout, though, interrupting the Mind Blast. I'm sorry, this is Psychic Screams coming out from I Dared You, who interrupts the Barot Peasant Sony. He gets the Intercept, though, onto I Dared You, but the stun is resisted. So Sony's in big trouble here. Earthshaker stun, not gonna be enough. He's noticed that Zane is a big fan of the Flame Shock. He's going to try to reflect that Flame Shock as he can, as he opens up with a cheap shot immediately into the Gouge, charging up the Gnomish Death Ray. No, he goes for the exposed armor. The Gouge breaks early. The Death Ray, does it land? It does not. It gets ranged by Zane. So Vec takes the Gnomish Death Ray counter damage, as well as the Fire Nova. Not sure that was a double Fire Nova or a Sapper used there. I could say that was a... I'm not sure if that was a Goblin Sapper charge used. Here we go. Opener onto Zane. The cheap shot from Vec into the kidney shot. Full duration kidney. Vec taking the opportunity to get rid of that poison cleansing totem, so he can apply his full blind as he first aids back up. No dots ticking on him, so that'll be a full recovery for Vec, who goes for the sap. Zane, not an orc shaman, so less resistance chance for him on those stuns, on those saps. As we get started here, Vec vanishing into an immediate cheap shot onto Zane with a big backstab to boot. So he's doing a ton of damage here as Zane runs away. He gets hit by the Fire Nova Totem. No Goblin Sapper. No Forgetfulness here from Zane. But big damage coming out from Vec as the kidney lands. No resist for Zane either. He pops the Whipperoo Tuber. There's the second blind. So second blind now expended by Vec. Prep has been used. He goes for the sap. Again, not going to be resisted there. Does he go for the recovery, or does he just want to finish this one off? It looks like he's got Zane in his crosshairs right now. No. He goes for the recovery instead. Pops the Blood Fury into the cheap shot. Vec looking to finish this one off and sweep Zane 2-0, and he does. A big eviscerate to finish things off with that cold blood. And we'll see if Improv takes a page out of Yabs' playbook and plays the distance game. It looks like no, he's going to be a little bit more aggressive here onto Reverie. This duel can go in so many different directions as Reverie looks to outrun the Barop peasants. He's got to be careful of those dispels coming out from that Fell Hunter. The fear now coming out from Improv. It's reflected. No, the double reflect coming out from both competitors. And there's the Moonfire now coming out from Reverie, but he's hit with the Death Coil there into the fear. He gets the NS off, however, so he is a little bit safe. Shadow Bolt expended. So Improv using a bit more mana than perhaps he intended to use there as the Shadow Bolt breaks the fear early and Reverie gets the NS off. So now you've got a game of cat and mouse here. Improv trying to chase down Reverie. Reverie going for the Wrath plays as Improv pops his Whipperoo Tuber to stay a little bit healthy. Goes for the hard-casted Shadow Bolt. It crits in tandem with the Shadow Burn. There's the Spell Lock onto Reverie, so Improv's sitting in a very good position right now. Does he go for the hard cast? No, he goes for the Fear instead, canceling it early as Reverie gets back into range with that Frenzied Regen. Just healing back up slowly but surely. And there's the grenade now onto Reverie, into the fear, into the wand from Improv, and it looks like Reverie will go down. No, he stays alive. No, he doesn't. Sitting in second place currently in the Druid bracket, Improv in fourth place as of now. Reverie's looking to catch up to that pesky Sodapoppin as he pounces onto Improv, into the Insect Swarm, into the Moonfire, dispelled by the Fell Hunter. And the Spell Lock comes out now onto Reverie, into the Soulburn damage. The grenade lands, however. Reverie trying to get his distance. The Death Coil comes out. No Shadow Reflector. It's still on cooldown. So he's going to eat this into a full duration fear. And now Improv just going to look to finish this off. He whiffs the grenade. Does he charge up the Shadow Bolt? It looks like he may not need to, but Reverie pops the Whipperoo Tuber. The second fear coming out from Improv. No, it's interrupted by the War Stomp. Regrowth cast by Reverie. Fear now from Improv. Does it land? He's being pushed back by that Battle Chicken, but he does get the fear off. It breaks early into the Immolate. And a third fear now. It's going to be DR'd if it lands, but it's Reverie who outranges the fear. Pops his NS, which comes out of cooldown, gets his Moonfire and Insect Swarm, and now it's Reverie on the offensive with the Wrath as well. So if it can outrange this fear, there is a chance for Reverie here to come out on top. The Battle Chicken harassing, though. It isn't ranged, but the big Moonfire spam now coming out from Reverie. He's almost The fear is going to hit. He whacks him with the Staff of Dominance. No crit coming out, though, but the fear breaks early and the Moonfire to turn it around. It's Reverie that takes the duel off the SL Warlock, splitting it 1-1, and another duel in favor of Rev in his pursuit to catch Sodapoppin. Continue climbing back up towards Veen, but so does Venruki, who uses the net off the bat, and he's thrusted into melee range of Stream Snipe as the net backfires. Advantage to Venruki, however. That's exactly where he wants to be, dead zoning this Hunter. He'll take the melee hits, he doesn't mind, as he ice blocks this Bestial Wrath, and he has Stream Snipe in his sights. Stream Snipe popping the Feigned Death Freezing Trap, but he's stuck in place and he goes down.